Bob Sanchez.
Thank you, Frank, and you were my favorite student. Good morning, everyone, and certainly thank you for coming to the annual State of the City breakfast. As always, I want to extend my thanks to Arts Quest, the Chamber, the sponsors, my department heads. I would like to ask them to please stand. We're all very shy always. Please stand. City Council and all of you for attending this breakfast this morning. Bethlehem continues to be a robust city and apparently an underrated city, as Reader's Digest called us this past year, and I tend to agree. From our vibrant downtowns, our distinct neighborhoods, our parks and schools, the city welcomes investors and residents alike, and we even welcome a new sister city, which Frank is very happy about, Verona, Italy. We continue to work to ensure Bethlehem remains a place where we can live, work, learn, and play. I am committed to public safety, economic development, and providing an unparalleled quality of life for our residents. While my administration continues to manage the responsibilities of municipal government, many of the things we've come to appreciate and enjoy about Bethlehem are done in partnership with the tireless efforts of our community organizations. Bethlehem is fortunate to have high-quality educational institutions in our city, and we appreciate our partnerships with Lehigh University, Moravian College, and Northampton Community College. Thanks to their investments, we have new educational buildings, a joint public safety substation with Lehigh University, and Northampton Community College's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. The Bethlehem Area School District continues to work closely with us, lending support for Northside 2027 neighborhood plan, and by partnering with our health department to develop a plan aimed at improving health outcomes for our students. Our pools were fully staffed with lifeguards this year, thanks to the ability to offer a low-cost lifeguard certification course for school district students. The city's healthcare facilities are second to none, with both St. Luke's University Health Network and Lehigh Valley Health Network ranked in the top 10 hospitals in Pennsylvania. And finally, our economic partners, Bedco, LVDC, and the Chamber, ensure that the city is seen as the vibrant city it is, with many opportunities for business growth. Earlier this year, I took part in an interview for Public Radio International regarding the economic evolution of Bethlehem. Also interviewed was Alan Berube, an expert in the economies of older industrial cities at the Brookings Institute. He ranks cities from strong to vulnerable, puts Bethlehem in the top category. He said strong cities share some common characteristics. Quote, the first is that we have an innovation engine. In a lot of cases, the ability of them to grow new kinds of products, companies, and jobs is tied to having a research university nearby. Secondly, he says, quote, successful industrial cities have also reinvested in their downtowns, bringing jobs and people back into the core after decades of suburban sprawl. To our great benefit, we do have a world-class research institution here in South Bethlehem, and to our credit, we have invested in innovation, small business, and our downtowns, and indeed, Bethlehem is strong. Lehigh University has anchored our South Side for 154 years and continues to grow and invest in Bethlehem. As part of my friend President Simon's $1 billion Path to Prominence campaign, Southside Commons is under construction and will bring 428 students to the edge of the downtown. Last month, the city approved a new health science building, which will expand Lehigh's academic footprint and bring a new host of experts to our city, while Bridge West, the newest on-campus housing complex, will create a dynamic campus hub for students. With Lehigh's focus on innovation and the city's commitment to supporting small businesses, Bethlehem has morphed into a city where small businesses want to locate. This past year, the city's KIZ program was awarded the gold medal for our partnership with educational institutions at the annual International Economic Development Council Conference. In 2018, KIZ facilitated 7 KIZ tax credit applications, totaling more than $400,000, and awarded almost $100,000 in related grants to small business. In 2019, KIZ will continue to identify and facilitate small-scale manufacturing space in the Southside, and we're basically almost at 100% capacity, to respond to the demand from entrepreneurs. Elsewhere on the Southside, a very exciting project, the factory, has resulted in the repurposing of a former Bethlehem steel building. The factory is a team of experienced operators with $250 million of investable capital who acquire meaningful equity stakes in high-potential food, beverage, and pet health companies, and partner with them to rapidly build value. This project will bring dozens of new companies to South Bethlehem with the goal that as accelerator companies located at the factory grow, they will choose to locate in Bethlehem. This one-of-a-kind facility is spearheaded by Richard Thompson, the former CEO of Fresh Pet, American Italian Company, and Meow Mix. And I would ask Richard to please stand. Let's give him an ovation. He decided to select Bethlehem over every other city in the United States for this new project. Please stand, Richard. Thank you for your Bethlehem continues to transition vacant brownfield land into new development, businesses, and job creators in LVIP 7 and Majestic Realty in South Bethlehem. In response to the steady demand of e-commerce market, QVC announced they will make Bethlehem home for their distribution center. Candlewood Suites, a 100-room hotel opened last year, represents some of the first development owned by LVIPs, fronting along the 412 corridor. RJ Scheimer and Outlook have established operations in the industrial park. Curtis Wright is expanding. Suncup has recently located their juice production and bottling operations on Easton Road, a 180,000 square foot building. Investments in our downtown has resulted in the completion of Greenway Commons. At the eastern end of 3rd Street, 510 Flats, Mayor Callahan's project, along with new retail tenants, and the second building on that site is scheduled to break ground this spring. That's really has changed the dynamic of South Bethlehem. It's one that grew up a block above Mayor Callahan's project. We've talked about development for 30 years. It's great to see this project and see development finally happening in South Bethlehem. The Goodman building, once on the brink of demolition, has been stabilized and now is on the verge of complete redevelopment at the corner of 3rd and Adams Street. Brinker Lofts, located at 4th and Adams Street, across from the old grotto, is poised to offer new housing and retail space for our downtown, the first project in the city to utilize the new Opportunity Zone program. And just last month, the City Council gave the first approval to an expanded venue for the arts, with a $15 million expansion and reconstruction of the Banana Factory on 3rd Street, enhancing our already vibrant Southside Arts District. Streetscape improvements in the design phase for South New Street, with the goal of developing a corridor between Morton Street and the Fahey Bridge that improves safety for bikers, pedestrians, calms traffic in the area, and will incorporate new lighting and design elements that will go from 3rd right up to Farrington Square. On the north side, I'm optimistic that the Boyd, as was announced about 3 weeks ago, and connected forefronts will be developed. This is an exciting project for the downtown and will enliven the Broad Street corridor, a key focus on our Northside 2027 planning study. In 2018, we saw Moravian College take ownership of the Moravian bookstore to ensure that this landmark would not close. Thanks to the leadership of President Grigsby and his board, the bookstore retains its status as the oldest operating bookstore in the United States and brings Moravian students and their families into the downtown shopping district. In the fall of 2018, the Westgate Mall was sold, and we're looking for positive changes for that shopping center to be announced soon. And while we acknowledge the nostalgia associated with Martin Towers, the definitive plan to demolish the tower and develop the 53-acre site provides the opportunity for new jobs and new opportunities on that 53-acre site. But one of the biggest changes the city may see in 2019 will be the transfer of ownership, if approved by the Pennsylvania Gaming Board, of the Sands Casino and the surrounding property to Wood Creek. Prospective owners have already indicated that they are willing to make an immediate investment of $190 million in the area in the form of a new hotel and the renovation of machine shop number 2. This is the most positive news we've had for years on that site, and I look forward to continuing. I've met with them twice personally, twice on the phone, developing a strong working relationship with the new owners. I certainly want to thank Brian Carr for everything that he has done as the president of Sands and continue as the president of Winfrey. That's approved. The total estimated cost, let me just backtrack a second. To give you an idea of the tremendous amount of investment Bethlehem is experiencing, let me share some statistics with you. 2018 saw the most construction permits pulled in the city's history. 8,404 permits were pulled. Total estimated cost of construction in the city last year, based on these permits, was $295 million. Outside of the Sands Casino, this investment exceeded any prior year by almost $54 million. And to show how much the city has grown and how much confidence people have in investing in their homes and businesses, the estimated construction cost over the last 4 years exceeded those of the previous 4 years by $370 million. Seeing how the development and the redevelopment worlds change, Bethlehem will continue to fund and support programs like the Enterprise Zone, KIZ, and Lehigh that help grow businesses and will advocate for smart and effective economic development programs. Having the city in a very strong financial position, if any of you have been here in previous years, you know I focused on that, allows the city to support the number of programs and services it offers. The city maintains at present an A+ bond rating from S&P. It is always the goal of my administration to eliminate waste and cut costs whenever possible. In many cases, the old way of doing things cannot continue. It's costly, let's be honest, it's inefficient. In 2018, Public Works switched to LED streetlights, and our curbside recycling contract was rebid, resulting in a savings of $120,000 in 2019. We negotiated a new labor contract at the golf course to reduce labor expenses, while negotiating a new lease with the Clubhouse Grill to increase revenue to the city. And for the 5th year in a row, we increased our collection rate, the business privilege, and mercantile tax. It's easy to see how technology and shifting attitudes about shopping, personal interaction, and everyday tasks are changing how we do things. Managing city government is no different. Frankly, it's a business. As we learn the more efficient ways of conducting business with emerging technology, the city is shifting to new ways of operating. Our inspectors will be using tablets in the field to upload data to our platform, rather than relying on paper and transcription back in the office. By the end of 2019, 3,500 or more customer meters will have been converted to drive-by meter reading. Antennas for remote meter reading will be installed throughout the city this year, completely changing how your water meter is read. LED lights are being installed at fixtures throughout the city to reduce cost of both electricity and labor. Our city's website is being totally revamped as we speak, so that residents and visitors can get more information more quickly. This website will interface with our new open data platform, where citizens will have the ability to go online and find out exactly where their money is being spent, right down to the last line item. And citizens can now even attend a city council meeting without leaving home, thanks to their decision to have live stream their meetings. But even as the city evolves, we need to stay true to our core community values. The first of these is public safety. I am pleased to say that the overall crime rate in Bethlehem fell by 4.2%. In 2018, with the most serious crimes, Part 1 offenses, dropping by 26.3% from 2017. According to Chief DeLuzio, does an outstanding job. These results can be attributed to the return of basic policing. Last year, dash cameras were installed at all police cars, and this year, body camera implementation will be completed for all 154 men and women. Our police department and health departments respond to the increase of overdoses by creating the Be Here program, in which a drug-addicted person can call or show up at police headquarters and request assistance in finding treatment no criminal consequences. Our police department is now assisting other departments in the county in scaling up this program, and our fire department has added Narcon naloxone to appropriate engines, which has resulted in 15 lives saved by our firefighters waiting for the arrival of EMS. In all, in 2018, 165 residents were revived with Narcon in the city last year. Unbelievable, and that number was higher this year. To provide an additional safety net for residents battling addiction, our health department implemented a home visiting program for residents who recently overdosed in an effort to facilitate entry into treatment. And this year, the fire department's Engine 5 will be replaced with another engine replacement planned for later this year. An additional goal in 2019 is to continue upgrading our decade-old fire rescue equipment to ensure that we have the most advanced apparatus to assist our residents. One example of our commitment to advanced life-saving equipment is the recent purchase of 5 Lucas automatic chest compressors, allowing our EMTs' hands to be free and allowing compressions to be done seamlessly. Our paramedics will be able to maximize the efficiency of their efforts and reduce the risk of injury to themselves or first responders by saving lives. And Director Tom Decker just informed me when I walked in, it was used last night for the first time, saving someone's life. Great investment. 2019 will bring one of the biggest changes to how the county and city operate with the finalization of the 911 center consolidation with Northampton County. There's only 2 cities that have their own 911 system, Allentown and Bethlehem. Allentown is consolidated with Lehigh County, Bethlehem with Northampton County. And later this year, look for a rollout of a new Bethlehem app that will allow communication between residents and citizens in a very fast way. Our water department received its 11th consecutive AWOP award, which is the water industry's way of recognizing ongoing efforts to ensure that our drinking water is safe and meets high quality standards. If anyone is driving around the city in 2018, despite all the work done by UGI, and inconvenience, you have noticed the amount of street reconstruction being done. Our Public Works Department last year paved a record 3 miles of road, installed numerous curb ramps, reconstructed West Garrett Street, improved the pedestrian access near Liberty High School, and made numerous stormwater upgrades. For 2019, I'm committed to Mike Alcohol. We will spend $2 million on street overlays this coming year. New lighting along West Broad Street will be implemented, stormwater replacements on East Boulevard, total reconstruction of Carlton Avenue on the south side. These are some of the improvements that will be undertaken in the area of public works. But as the world evolves into a more tech-savvy online place, the existence of our neighborhood parks becomes critical. Our parks provide green space for people to relax, a place for after-school and summer programs to keep our kids engaged in positive activities, and provides a natural community hub for people to interact. The National Recreation and Park Association has found that young people who live in a poor or minority neighborhood are 50% less likely to have a park near their homes. This is not the case in Bethlehem. We have 30 parks and 5 pool facilities located throughout the city. Because we realize how important these recreation opportunities are, in 2019, we will invest $7 million in our recreation facilities, a record. Our recreation department will implement more after-school programs for our youth, something that we've been hearing is needed through our neighborhood studies and outreach. Last year, I announced many of the upcoming projects to address the condition of our parks and pools. This year, I could talk about their completion. Phase 5 of the Greenway was completed. The redesign and reconstruction of a new memorial pool will begin in another month to 2 months. Thanks to a $1.5 million grant, and I really want to thank Governor Wolf and Senator Boscola for the $1.5 million grant received for this project. The iconic Rose Garden is moving closer to a complete redesign, including new signage, pathways, trees, benches, and bike racks. We plan to redo the Rose Garden. A new play system and other upgrades are coming to Friendship Park in late spring this year, and because of a $60,000 commitment from Northampton County Executive McClure, the city will begin to examine the feasibility of a pedestrian bridge over the Lehigh River, linking North and South Bethlehem. Just as I have committed to improving these recreational facilities, I'm committed to improving the neighborhoods that surround them. The city finalized our comprehensive blight study last year and is now moving into implementing the policy from that study. Our housing inspections last year increased by 10% from the same period in 2017, but there is room for improvement. Using data from our blight study, we are targeting investment in key neighborhoods to stem any potential decline. We assisted our homeowners with over $300,000 of federal funds for critical housing improvements, allowing more of our residents to remain in their homes. Last year, I announced that the city was awarded a grant in conjunction with Northampton County and the city of Easton, which will allow us to remove lead paint and repair critical safety issues. Today, I can now elaborate on that information and share that close to $1 million will be invested in city homes, reducing the risk of harm to our most vulnerable populations. And because of my commitment to strong neighborhoods and in conjunction with Councilman Reynolds, we undertook a planning study of Northside 2027 neighborhood last year. This area has affordable homes, excellent schools, is walkable to the downtown, and is an example of Bethlehem's diversity in housing stock and land use. Northside 2027, the boundaries would go from the Oak Brewery Tavern on Union Boulevard out to Maple Street where Thomas Jefferson is, going north almost to Elizabeth Avenue. We really look at that whole area, and we made a lot of progress so far. And we want to make an investment in that area. As the city continues to change and evolve, it is our responsibility to ensure that it moves forward in a direction that is positive for our constituents. By investing in our small businesses, supporting innovation and technology, taking steps to guarantee the health of our housing stock and neighborhoods, and maintaining partnerships with those who support these goals, the city is destined to continue its evolution from an industrial powerhouse to a city which offers unrivaled opportunity for all. On a side note, I would like to note that historic Moravian Bethlehem and Charlotte Township Bowers this year is on the cusp of being named a World Heritage Site. Let me put that in perspective. It would put us on par with sites like the Great Wall of China, the pyramids, and the Taj Mahal. There are only 23 such sites in the United States. The closest one is Independence Hall in Philadelphia. And right now, we are on a prestigious shortlist for that final nomination called the tentative list. It is the highest recognition a site can achieve in the United States. And I just want to thank Charlene for the outstanding work she does. And finally, where's Lynn Cunningham? Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity really to thank my good friend, the outgoing Senior Vice President of the Bethlehem Chamber, Lynn Cunningham, for her years of service to the Chamber and to the City of Bethlehem. Long a cheerleader for the city, Lynn will be sorely missed when she steps down from her position next year. Lynn, I want to thank you on behalf of everyone in this room for the tireless work you've done on behalf of the City of Bethlehem and the Chamber. And I would like to present you with the Moravian Star. And I won't read all the whereases, but today I've signed a proclamation declaring that today will be Lynn Collins Cunningham Day in the City of Bethlehem. And I don't know if anyone has to give that award or not.
At my annual meetings, sorry for the tears, at the annual, it's not my annual meeting anymore, it's Angie's annual meeting. They're going to be doing like a little kind of retrospective, so I didn't want this to be too much of a thing because there's going to be something else. So, but thank you. I love this city, I love this chamber, and I love working with all of you, and it's been a pleasure for the last 14 years. It really has. There's been nothing better in my life that I could do than to help and improve the city that I grew up in and that I love. So, thanks. Thanks so much.
Finally, let me just say thank all of you for really making Bethlehem the jewel of the Lehigh Valley. We've been very fortunate to have great development. We're very fortunate to have a good quality of life, and we're very fortunate to be one of the safest cities in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I've always said this, and I mean it sincerely, we're very fortunate that we have in the past outstanding mayors as Mayor Callan, Mayor Cunningham, Ken Smith, etc. They really put the city first. We're very bipartisan, and I think that's what makes us successful, trying to work together, and we want to continue that tradition. So I just want to thank all of you for everything you do for the city and make my job easier, so thank you very much. I'll take a couple of questions. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, going
Mark.
back to the Martin Tower,
Yes.
the only skyscraper we have in Bethlehem, there's a lot of activity. Is any of that building going to be repurposed, or is it going to be demolished?
I would say right now, probably the end of April, the building will come down in total. But I don't think it's coming down this way. I think it's gonna come, it's gonna go east towards Moravian. That's where the largest acreage would be. The building is basically a shell of itself. And to be very honest, Mr. Ronka and his partner, Mr. Herrick from Florida, have worked very hard at trying to get companies to move into the building. But when the cost is just astronomical. From no sprinkler system to the asbestos to the mold to the cruciform shape, it was just not economically feasible. So the building will come down the end of April.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us a little more about the Wind Creek deal?
I have to watch
Is this
what
on?
I say, so Brian, stop me. I'm going to be very honest. I hope the deal goes through. I'm looking forward to working with with Wood Creek. To be fair to the Sands, we know the casino has been up for sale with Tropicana a few years ago, and then very close with the MGM deal about 2 or 3 years ago, and that fell through for something that had to do with the governor's budget. And now Wood Creek, and I'm looking forward to working with the new ownership if it's approved by the Pennsylvania Gaming Board. As I said before, I've met with them twice personally, twice on the phone. We've established a good rapport. I'm very excited about their commitment to Bethlehem, what they would want to do, and I'm looking forward to continue to work with Brian Carr. So I'm excited that if the gaming board approves it, that immediately you will have a $190 million investment with a second hotel and the renovation of Machine Shop 2. I did emphasize to them that I would want them to be a good corporate citizen, like many of you are. Yet they have to be involved in the community, they have to be involved in the schools, especially in South Bethlehem. That's number one. And then number two, to develop the site. And this is a very complicated transfer, needless to say. And I'm certainly hoping that it goes through. I'm looking forward to working with the new ownership. And I think the quicker that the gaming board gets this on the agenda for approval, the quicker that we can move forward and develop the site. It's going to be very exciting, the 130 acres. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.